Hi everybody, welcome to today's edition of the CrossFit Games Update Show. I'm Sean Woodland with Tommy Marquez and Pat Sherwood previewing the women's side of the Masters competition. And in every division, we have some extremely talented athletes and some really good matchups as well.
I basically consider the women's Masters division to be like the superhero division because they look like regular human beings and all of a sudden they're snatching weight, they're walking on the hands, they're doing this stuff that just you don't see the regular population doing.
And we have a handful of champions not coming back, so we could see some new athletes kind of step to the forefront and end up on top of the podium.
We're going to go through every division, show you some favorites, some challengers, and then make a pick for each one. We start in the 40 to 44-year-old division. A lot of familiar names here, including some women who have competed as individuals at the games.
Yeah, some familiar faces, and this is going to be an incredibly tight race, and we're going to start with Karen McAdams. So she, in 2015, in the Masters qualifier, was first place, only had one finish outside of the top 5, and at 40 years old, she is the young lady in this division out of CrossFit Hood River. But Amanda Allen, at 44 years old, man, she's been competing for years as an individual. This year at the Pacific Regional, she took 13th place. She's won this division 2 times. Now, she said her training wasn't kind of how she wanted it to be leading up, but I'm not worried about her. I think Amanda is my pick.
Let's go to the 45 to 49-year-old division where PERRINS had just 9 points out of the Masters qualifier. She's the only woman in this division with single digits.
Yeah, and she's the favorite in this division by far. She finished first in the Open, backs that up with a first place finish overall in the Masters qualifier. Sean, you mentioned that she had only 9 points. That was actually tied for the fewest total points of any athlete in the women's Masters field. But she's got Kim Hollway, the defending champ in this age division, chasing her down. Kim was 3rd in the Open, 6th in the Masters qualifier, and she won last year after taking 3rd in the Masters qualifier. But PERRINS didn't compete last year because she was busy being at the games on CrossFit Club's 7th place affiliate cup team. She won 3 of the 4 qualifier events. The only other event that she had to finish was a 5th, so nothing outside the top 5, and I think she's my pick.
50 to 54-year-old division, Shelly Eddington comes in with 13 points. Tracy McEachern and Marion VALKENBURG are the closest. They have 30 and 35 points respectively.
You need to keep your eye on Shelly Eddington, and I'll tell you why. She competed at the games last year, one division lower in the 45 to 49-year-old, where she took 3rd place. She decided to have another birthday. She's moved up this year, first place in the qualifier very handily. But Marion VALKENBURG isn't looking to make it easy for her. Last year at the games, this division, she took 8th place. And she was 3rd in the qualifier, but between the two, very capable. My tip of the hat goes to Shelly.
55 to 59, LYNNE KNAPMAN. She's another woman that had 9 points out of the Masters qualifier, but Susan Clark was only 7 points back.
Yeah, and Susan Clark comes in as my favorite because primarily she's a defending champ in this division. She won it last year. She finished 2nd in the Open this year and 2nd in the Masters qualifier, and she even won the 2014 Masters qualifier, so she's consistently at the top. But LYNNE KNAPMAN is a newcomer to this division. She finished first in both the Open and the Masters qualifier. She's aged up a division after taking 5th at the games last year in the 50 to 54 division. I think that's really key. She's my pick because of this aging up process, because now she's on the younger half of that division, and it's really showed. Last year at this stage, she only had 2 top 3 finishes. Now she's got 8. That's 4 times as many, and I think that's a little bit better.
In the 60-plus division, this one's super close heading in. Just 19 points separated 1st from 8th, but it was Deb Diamond who sat atop the leaderboard after the Masters qualifier with just 48 points. Not
just fit, but potentially has the best name out of anyone competing. Deb Diamond, yes, first place in the Masters qualifier in 2015 out of Chesterfield CrossFit. She is the one to keep your eye on, but a lot of other capable women out there. Mary Schwing, last year at the games, took 2nd place in this division. She won the Open, but had a bit of a stumble in the Masters qualifier. ALLISON LOCKE, in the qualifier this year, tied for 4th place out of Precision CrossFit. She's 60 years old, but my pick in this division is going to be Deb Diamond.
Masters get going on Tuesday, July 21st at the StubHub Center in Carson, California as part of the 2015 Reebok CrossFit Games. That's it for us. For Pat and Tommy, I'm Sean. We will see you tomorrow as we go over the men's side of the competition.